Hi, I'm Karla Smith, and this is
Terry Smith, and we're Wycliffe Bible translators.
So you've just recently gotten back from being in country. What was that experience like?
Yes, we left in February for a 7-week trip, and it turned into almost 7 months of strict quarantine. We as senior citizens weren't allowed to leave the house. Karla left maybe once a week to do the necessary shopping or bank run, but we were literally quarantined inside for the past 6 months, and then when we got back to Oregon, we were quarantined due to the smoke.
Wow.
So it's been a long 7 months.
Wow, yeah. Okay. What did you learn about yourself, one another, during your time, those 7 months in Peru?
That's your question, Karla.
okay. Well, there are different things that I could share. I learned a few things about myself during those 6 months in quarantine. One of the ones that I thought I might share is that I found that I do a lousy job of asking God for help. I was reading in 2 Chronicles one day the story of King Asa and 2 Chronicles 14. And he had a huge army that was coming against the nation of Judah, and he really needed help in fighting that army. And so he prayed to God. He asked for help. And God was there for the whole nation and for him. And when King Asa prayed, "Help us, O God," God showed up. He was right there. Later in life, Asa forgot God. And if you continue reading in chapters 15 and 16, he really messes up in not asking God for help. And so he was an example to me. I might not have huge things like he did to go against an army, but there are small things, troubles and distresses in my life, and a lot of times I forget to ask God for help.
So where'd you stay during those 7 months of quarantine in Peru?
While we were there, we stayed in the house of our comadre. We met Irma in about 1990, and she became part of our family. She and her two small children when her husband was killed, and we kind of adopted her. And now when we go back to Peru, she makes available an apartment for us, so we have a place to stay and a flat rooftop where we could go up and spend quiet time or walk in circles or just look at the city and the mountains all around us. So that comes with a household of, there were 9 of us in the family, or in the household. Irma's almost 100-year-old dad and herself, and then 2 ladies that helped take care of her dad, and 3 kids. So that was our hospitality situation. And because of all of a sad history of a lot of abuse, it was a chance for us to offer a lot of love and mercy, and to receive that too from the folks there in that household.
Wonderful. Okay. Yeah, that's great. What did you learn about God during your 7-month quarantine?
The lesson that I learned about God is that he's ready to help us, but he waits for us to come to him. And so that's what I want to be doing more, is remembering to call to him for help.
Wonderful.
And one of the things I learned was reading through Mark, just reading straight through Mark a couple times, and realizing that Jesus reached out to the crippled, to the blind, to the disenfranchised, and it made me realize that I want to be one of those people. I want to be the ones that Jesus reaches out to and brings into community, because so many other people the good people rejected him, didn't want anything to do with him. So that was fun to. It's fun to admit that I want to be helpless and need Jesus.
Yeah, wow. So how can we as a church family support you, pray for you now that you're back stateside and continuing the work that God has before you?
Well, one of the big things is to continue to pray for God's peace as we acknowledge His sovereignty and all the mess that's happening. Just to acknowledge that and rest at peace and continue to be the people that He wants us to be. We want to continue loving and offering mercy to our family, to the people around us as best we can. And as the Panau Quechua translation team continues to work, that we'll be able to help however possible virtually. So those are the primary things.